How's it going out there, guys? We're here with one, and we're back with ye old line crosser over here, and yeah, he's going to try and explain away why the current U.S. Defense budget is at like what is it, something like 800 billion or something like that, and there are definitely reasons, there are causes and such. I definitely think it's more of a complex issue than that can be covered in a 9 minute video. That's definitely for sure. But if you've seen Line Crosser before, if you've heard him speak, especially in these types of videos, you definitely know he has a tendency to really not tell the whole truth and to definitely leave a bunch of stuff out, right? So, um, yeah, we're gonna get into it, and he just kind of it's funny in this video. He just kind of got done doing this whole thing with the B-52 and how expensive it is, just to be made, and how many we currently have, and how expensive it is to operate, and what it does, and this, that, and everything else. Like, yes, line crosser, we get it. Shit is expensive to maintain. Shit is expensive to fly. Shit is expensive to operate. Like that's never been the issue with people. All right, especially when it comes to terms like this. But he's also about to go into how how it's so expensive to just maintain people in the military, and stuff costs money, and when inflation hits, it hits everyone. So, well, without further ado, we'll let him try and explain it away.
The U.S. military's budget for 2023 was $816.7 billion. But where does that money go? Well, let's start out with inflation. Inflation is affecting everybody. It's affecting your wallet. It's affecting my wallet. The cost of gas, the cost of produce, the cost of everything in the world has exploded. That also explodes for Uncle Sam as well. So in fiscal year 2023, around $12 billion was given to the United States military just to combat inflation of things that they already needed to purchase: parts, bullets, beans, and gasoline. The U.S.
So that's 12 billion added on to something that we were already earmarked to spend. I mean, I don't know, buddy. I mean, don't you think it would kind of behoove Uncle Sam to maybe have some people in charge that would maybe keep inflation at like maybe a steady minimum, or maybe on a downward trend? I mean, I don't know, just food for thought.
military is also one of the largest developers in the world. We build a ton of shit everywhere. So the cost
we we do. I mean, that's definitely news to me. I can certainly tell you we did a hell of a lot more destructing than we did constructing back when I was in. So yeah, I don't know, but that's kind of the funny thing when you're a combat engineer and you tell people that you are a combat engineer. They kind of look at you. The first thing they ask is, "Oh, so what? You drive like bulldozers?" Not exactly, guy.
of all materials have gone up, so we had to set aside an additional $3.6 billion to cover the increased cost of developing areas. Remember, gas affects you, gas affects the military as well. Now, I'm sure there's a lot of people who are going to say, we go to the Middle East specifically for oil, and that's just factually inaccurate. Around 11% of the oil that the United States buys comes from the Middle East. The vast majority of it comes from Canada, of all places. Gotta love our crazy psychotic hat. But speaking of gas, just to offset the cost of inflation with gas prices, the United States had to allocate $2.5 billion additional to cover the cost of fuel. This covers everything from your Humvees to your DDGs. This covers your THAAD systems, your Patriot systems.
Your THAAD systems, your Patriot systems. You mean like your Patriot systems that are currently doing fuck all in Ukraine right now? Those Patriot systems? line crosser, my guy. Again, it's not that's not the issue people have. No one's saying shit doesn't cost money. Everyone knows it costs money. All right. The issue people are having is that you mentioned it yourself. Everyone's getting affected by this. It affects Uncle Sam. It affects me. It affects you. I'm able to fucking work around inflation. I think Uncle Sam should be able to do the same fucking thing. Just saying.
The United States military uses a lot of fuel, and this is partially because we operate in austere environments and fossil fuels are something that is easy to transport, easy to move, and easy to find for US forces. We're open to green energy and we're really looking into the possibility of green energy. It's just right now those systems and processes haven't gotten far enough along that we can use them in combat scenarios.
Green energy running the military will never happen in my lifetime. I'm not saying it's never going to happen. But as of right now, the systems in place, the way they're able to outproduce energy and such, I'm sorry, fossil fuels have always been the way to fucking go. Green energy, it's not there yet. The technology isn't there yet. You can't burn enough energy, and it's too fucking cost producing to be any kind of fucking effective. All right. Why you're even touting this as a solution is beyond me. But I mean, hey, not everyone's able to realize that, green energy companies are essentially the oil barons of the 21st century. But that's just me.
Then you have to look at what it costs to recruit people. The military.
Oh, no. Really? It costs money to recruit people. Oh boy, here we go.
Loves our bonuses, at least the United States Army. We love to give out bonuses for all kinds of things. Right now, enlisting in the United States military can net you up to around a $50,000 bonus if you have the right qualifications and you're a good candidate.
Really? Are you sure about that? Are you just 50,000 if you're a good candidate? I don't know.
While you're in, re-enlisting can net you upwards of $40,000, especially if you're a low density or star MOS, okay? Well, low density and star are not synonymous, and I know somebody who works in HRC is going to correct me on that, but leave that one alone. For people who are in and have good qualifications, they're looking for very specific things, according to what I found on the internet: foreign language proficiency, psychological operations, microwave systems operator maintainer, human intelligence or HUMINT, and then air and missile defense crew member, my job.
So, the way you're really making this sound, buddy, is those are the higher need MOSs that they're kind of looking for, at least for re-enlisting and maybe even enlisting guys. You know what? We're gonna pause the video right here, and I'm just gonna go to the website. Let's find out for ourselves. Let's all go. All right, so here we are now in this part of the video, and we're talking bonuses. Right, he said certain MOSs and jobs and whatnot are getting bonuses, right? So let's see. Oh, right off the bat, that's one I definitely know. That's a 12 Charlie. It's a bridge crewman. It's kind of weird. Why would you need 40,000 for that? Most of the time, all they do is they put down a float bridge and they go across anyway. Half the time, they're having us build the fucking shit. Bradley maintainer, geoengineer. Okay, decent. 15,000 for an 88 mic. Okay, I guess we really need fucking truck drivers. And then right there, as you can see, you're probably not gonna get it, but always need engineer sergeants, especially in special forces. I think it's like I forget what the designation for that is. I'm not sure if it's an X-ray or if it's an Echo, or if it's 18 class. But yeah, there we go. And here we got some real big ones. We're seeing 600,000 for a surgeons. Like, is that a thorac? I don't know. That looks super. But neurosurgeon, definitely know that one. 600,000. They should definitely be getting it. A social worker. Okay. Medical sergeant for special forces. All right, definitely need those. 40,000. I think it should be a little fucking further up there, but oh well. Urologist. 300. So these guys, unless you're an animal care specialist, these guys are definitely making some money in the medical field, right? Oh, here we go. Signal and intel. Signal and intel. 15,000 for comm specialist. Oh, look at that. Radar repairer, 15,000. Special forces guy. Something about these SF guys. Always getting 40K. It's definitely a trend. Signal analyst, warfare specialist, cyber ops. Like what? I gotta ask. Okay, why are these guys like? Is there everyone just in this shit, and that's why they're getting like gypped for fucking bonuses right now? Because why are these smart guys, right, only getting seven and a half thousand as an offer for a bonus, right? Again, special forces they're getting 40K. Don't know. Voice interceptor. Okay, so that's that's literally just spying on people. You're listening in on like embassy calls and shit. But that's all signal and intel, psyops. Oof. End up getting a TikTok made of me now. So here we go. Support and logistics, 20K, 7.5, 7.5. Oh, there goes the replenisher, 7.5. So I think we're getting this. All right, parachute rigger, only 15,000. Definitely need more riggers. Stressful job, But if you're looking at this, and then there's Seaburn. You're only getting 20,000. Sorry, you're stuck in 2006 there, buddy. You only get a $20,000 bonus. But as we can see, yeah, not all these special forces 40,000 again, but as we can see, not all these jobs are really lining up, right? I mean, look at that. Drive a tank, $40,000 signing bonus, right? Cav Scout, you're basically doing the same fucking thing, only you're probably in like a striker, right? No, but 7.5. But what I don't get, why do we so desperately need the tanker here to have 40,000, but the parachute rigger only gets 15? I mean, that doesn't really seem like a fucking sign of a healthy army. That's just me. Oh, look at that. Special Forces candidate. Special Forces candidate. Not even Special Forces. You're just a fucking candidate. You're 11X. You're not even good enough for a designation yet. 40,000 right off the fucking bat. Infantryman jobs. Not even just infantry. Infantryman jobs. Trigger pullers. 40,000. Now, why those motherfuckers are getting 40K and these motherfuckers in EOD are only getting 20K to sign on? Beyond me. And I ain't trying to fucking be some true blue infantry fucking guy, this, that, no, honestly, I think the whole fucking infantry shit, like, that shit is like a cult within the army. Like, they're basically the Marine Corps of the army at some fucking point. You get some of those real motherfuckers in there. Oh, fucking choke myself on my blue cord and auto asphyxiate myself while jacking off. I bet you fucking do, dude. I bet you do. Why does God love the infantry? Because the sky is blue. Dumb shit like that, right? But I can tell you right now, that EOD guy, definitely way more and will always be way more in high demand than your standard trigger puller. 40K. right? And I'm not trying to say infantry is not needed. Infantry is definitely there. They're there for a reason. They have a job. They fill a role, and they do it well. That's beyond the fact. But when you're sitting there and you're trying to fucking explain out why we're spending so much on this, this, and this when we're offering $40,000 signing bonuses to infantry guys and 15,000 to parachute riggers, 20,000 to Seaburn. I mean, look at that. Petroleum supply, a fueler, 7.5. Right? Some of these guys, like even these intel, like information tech specialist, 10,000. Why is he right there? Like the guy who's spying on motherfuckers, the embassy guy that I mentioned, 50,000. That's only 10,000 away from being an infantryman. Why? Like I would think the signals guy would be way more in higher need than the trigger puller down here. I mean, we're supposed to be, the smart fucking army, work smarter, not harder, this, that, and everything else, right? Totally not the fact that you fucking scared off everyone that was willing to do the fucking job or anything. Anyway, we're getting back to the other video. Man, I I really didn't know that we really needed infantry guys so badly, huh? So much for, just if you're a good candidate and you meet the requirements, because all you need to be a fucking infantryman is to have a bare minimum fucking ASVAB score. But you can keep fucking living in your pipe dream there, habitual line crosser. I can go on and on for days about how the fucking recruiting crisis right now in the U.S. military is like essentially at an all-time high. Like we haven't been seeing shit like this since the 70s. And quite honestly, with the way things are, like what you just saw, that's not the sign of a fucking healthy military. Period. Point blank. End of fucking discussion. You cannot convince me otherwise. Like trying to say that we're in a healthy state as far as the military is concerned is just factually wrong. 100%. And at this point in time, with the numbers, with what's going on, because one of the biggest issues with it is that you got all these fucking guys on TikTok and shit, all the people that you were pandering to, that you wanted to have in so fucking badly, all those fucking diversity motherfuckers, right? You wanted them in so fucking badly, you got rid of the people that were willing to put up with the bullshit. The people who were willing to put up with the low pay, with the lack of sleep, with the shitty jobs, all right? You pushed them all out, and now you're fucking stuck with all these sub-tier sons of bitches who do nothing but fucking complain on TikTok and tell people not to get in the fucking military. All right? You're wondering why you need fucking bodies to man a fucking Patriot crew system right now? Maybe it's because one of your fucking soldiers is out there complaining he had to pull a fucking 8-hour day on fucking guard on fucking TikTok in his fucking car, dude. I mean, you're a fucking E7. You should fucking know this. Anyway.
We need air defenders, and I'm not mixing words when I tell you guys we need bodies to operate these systems around the world. The U.S. has some pretty simple priorities, right? For fiscal year 23, our priority number one is, of course, and always is, protect the homeland with the defense budget.
Doing a shitty job of that.
Protect the United States, right? That is our priority one. Our priority number two happens to be protecting U.S. assets and our allies abroad. And that
doing a shitty job of that too.
Is the vast majority of what we do. The United States itself, in the continental United States, aside from the terrorist attack in 2001, hasn't really been attacked because the United States is an that's a fucking hard word. Expeditionary? Yeah, there you go. Military. We spend most of our times.
I mean, no. That there, again, that's just factually fucking wrong. 100%. Like, we have had other attacks on this country ever since September 11th. Were they on the same scale? the same body count as September 11th? No. I mean, it's been a long, long time since we've seen a body count in the thousands like that. Very long time. Um, but when you have guys like, the Zarnev brothers and the Boston bombing, Pulse nightclub, numerous other fucking things. I mean, just because, the body count of an attack is only like two or three doesn't change why they went and did what they did. All right. To say that we haven't been attacked on that kind of, again, we haven't been attacked on that kind of a scale, but to say that we haven't been attacked since September 11th, again, that's just straight up fucking wrong. Like, you're fooling yourself if you really think that. Like, you have rose tinted glasses on and you're refusing to see the reality for what it is. Simply as that. I mean, if you don't believe me, take a walk in Dearborn, Michigan.
Bringing the fight to the enemy. That being said, the U.S. Navy is pretty much the sole proprietor of protecting global trade. Now, don't get me wrong, other nations do their part, and I would never downplay that, but vast majority of it is the United States Navy. We're seeing this right now in the Red Sea. Global trade has been affected because those ships now have to go around Africa, which is like a 2,000-mile just redirect rather than going through the canal there in the Red Sea. The U.S. military is immediately on it. The U.S. Navy is immediately there protecting these ships and protecting these shipping lanes. And it's not just for U.S. interests. Global trade affects the world. So if global trade is affected in some other country, the cost of their goods go up, the cost of importing that to the United States goes up, the cost of everything continues to just go up. So we protect global trade in an effort to help stabilize the global economy.
So you're sitting here trying to explain that another reason why the defense budget is so high is because when global shipping and the global economy is threatened, things go up. Hey, buddy, you want to know what would help kind of draw down the import costs on shit? Maybe if we produced it domestically. Yeah, imagine that. Like, if we produced it here at home, then maybe we wouldn't be so reliant on the global economy for imports, and then we wouldn't have to worry about the increased cost of shipping and then the increase of fucking imports. Imagine that.
Priority number 3 is to deter aggression while still being able to prevail in an active war. Now,
Fucking failing at that.
that's kind of fancy words, but the purpose of that is we need to have enough money that if we start shooting at each other, we can fight this war here while the rest of our forces around the world are still supplied, they are still considered deterrents, and they are still protecting what they need to protect.
We currently, with the full backing of the majority of NATO countries right now, cannot supply Ukraine with enough fucking shells. All right. And you seem to think that we're going to be able to fight off some major war while still having guys abroad. No. No, I'm sorry. Like I mentioned earlier, again, like we're in such a fucking recruiting crisis. If anything were to pop off, and I'm gonna use this kind of generally just on the scale of the United States because of how much we're able to give up. If we were to have something as small as fucking Desert Storm pop off right now, and again, small is fucking relative because we're the United States, especially in terms of Desert Storm. We would instantly need to enact a draft. Period, point blank. We would need to institute a draft if something were to pop off right the fuck now. We do not have the manpower or the capability to do any of that. We are in such a fucking crisis. Fuck off. Truth Social. So yeah. No, that's just fucking, again, straight up fucking wrong. Try again, buddy.
The fourth priority in the defense strategy is to build a robust and resilient joint force that is capable of fighting. So,
To build a joint and robust force that is capable of fighting. Well, I think I've essentially made my points on that on all your previous ones, so I'm just going to skip over that.
everybody spends a whole lot of money on training. That's what I'm getting at there, is we spend a metric fuck ton on training our forces. Now, if you take a look at the United States military's training schedule and compare it to literally everybody else in the world, ours is just unimaginably complex and busy. When I tell you that it's unimaginably complex and busy, I'm not joking. It is not uncommon for an infantryman to do 3 to 4 ranges a week while doing land navigation and doing an overnight STX or FTX, field training exercise. For air defenders, it's not uncommon for us to spend weeks in the field honing our craft, moving our equipment around, conducting maintenance, and what we call PM&E, which is prepare for movement and emplacement. For an artilleryman, it's not uncommon for them to spend weeks in the field shooting rounds, moving here, moving there, and fighting with their system as much as they possibly can. This training costs an incredible amount of money. This also goes to talk about aircraft and flight hours.
All right. I know what he's about to get at, but the fact of the matter is, you can throw all the money at the world that you have at training. You can, I mean, he's not wrong. It wasn't uncommon for us to go breach a fucking lane, mark it, do some bullshit, run some fucking gunnery tables, and then maybe do a fucking range within the course of a few fucking days at KTC. Not fucking unheard of, all right? But again, like I mentioned earlier, the force you have right now, they don't care. All right, they're not gonna overlook the shitty part. All they're fucking doing is they're going, sitting in their fucking cars, bitching about the weather, bitching about not being able to sleep, bitching about the fucking pay, not overlooking any of this shit. You can have all the fucking cool guy training in the world that you want. But the fact of the matter is, if that person does not want to fucking be there, all of that shit is just a fucking waste. All right? And the thing is, you already scared all the motherfuckers that were in the military that were willing to overlook that shit out of the fucking military. So guess what? You're stuck with the piece of shit fucking TikTokers sitting there bitching about how they only had to do a fucking 8-hour guard session on a fucking Patriot system and how they're fucking tired and this and that. Wah. Oh my god, you joined the fucking US Army. What the fuck did you think this was gonna be? A fucking cakewalk? Not a fucking weekend at Bernie's or Disneyland, you dumbass. Anyway, he, again, just misses the fucking point. Like, you can spend, like I said, all the money in the world on training, and he's going to get into it on aircraft, because it does take a lot to spend on aircraft, which, you know what? Fuck it. You want to start talking about how expensive equipment is? What about this shit that was given up to other fucking guys, huh? And that's just the fucking surface. Let's hear what he has to say about this shit.
And speaking of combat aircraft,
Hey, it's your favorite. Did someone say favorite? What are you doing here? He said fighter aircraft, not pipe dream. You were but a rough.
Hey, line crosser, buddy. I got a question. Are you okay? Like, I mean, I just want to let you know, multiple personality disorder is recognized as a psychiatric event. Sure, you don't need to talk to one of them psychologists that's getting, a lower signing bonus than an infantryman right now?
Draft. And I am the final copy. Look at you, Shih Tzu, the fart of war.
I take it you still don't like the new guy?
The spears you throw will return to you tenfold. Cannon Nostradamus, you speak in riddles, I speak in missiles.
Okay, kid. How about you tell us about yourself and military
Not
spending?
while he's here.
Come on.
Your fear sustains me. Fear? The only thing I fear is sucking a piece of debris from you into one of my engines after I send you back to build a bitch workshop. Fine. I'll go. See you in the skies soon. I bet you won't.
Was that really necessary?
Yeah, line crosser. Is this next fucking minute and a half really necessary? No, not really. All he's gonna mention is how expensive it is to have the F-22 operating costs, things like that. All right. Again, what he fails to realize, that's not what pisses people off. All right. What pisses people off is the wasteful spending. What pisses people off is the lack of direction. What pisses people off is the fact that we, as the United States of America, spend well over 50% of our budget, right? Making up for weak allies in NATO abroad. That's one of the cruxes of why we spend as much as we do. All right. It's not because of inflation. I mean, those are factors. Yes, and it's like I said at the start, a 9-minute video on this shit, this is still too complex a fucking issue because we haven't even gotten into government contracts and how those are regulated and how they work those out. No. But I'm sorry, line crosser, like, dude, you fucking literally do rocket science. I would expect you to actually, do some more fucking research and actually tackle a fucking subject like this a bit more fucking accurately instead of trying to sugarcoat shit and just try and blame everything on fucking inflation, which, by the way, was very fucking preventable, but we decided to mortgage the future and now we're paying for it, buddy. Now we're fucking paying for it right now. All right. So you want to have your bare bones fucking weak military that's barely able to fucking operate during peacetime, especially when it's operating at a fucking $800 billion budget. That's fine. That's on you. As for me, like Captain Jack Sparrow said,
I have no sympathy for any of you feculent maggots and no more patience to pretend otherwise. Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.